Hailey Bieber has finally said something that people can't stop talking about, and many think it might be the most open she has ever been. After staying silent for months about her life as a new mom to her baby boy, Jack Blues Bieber, she decided it was time to speak out. For the longest time, fans only saw the polished pictures on Instagram, carefully posed shots that looked effortless. But behind those posts, her reality was very different. Now, for the first time, she's giving people a real look at what her pregnancy and the months after giving birth were actually like. She didn't reveal this through a big magazine interview or a fancy press statement. Instead, she turned to Instagram, where she shared a long story about what she called her pregnancy and postpartum survival kit. She explained that now that her son is close to turning 1, she feels ready to show the things that carried her through those exhausting months. These weren't just extra luxuries she happened to like. Hailey made it clear that these items were things she truly relied on every single day. Some of them, she admitted, are still part of her routine even now. What caught people off guard was how different her list felt compared to the usual influencer-style recommendations. It didn't read like a promotional checklist or a carefully staged ad. Instead, it came across like advice from a mom who wanted to be practical and prepared. Right at the top of her list was Bumpology Bump Butter, along with other belly creams meant to reduce stretch marks. She even mentioned Road Glaze Stretch Mark Cream, which comes from her own brand. People expected her to include her products, but the way she described them felt more personal than promotional. She openly admitted that stretch marks are a normal part of pregnancy, even though social media often tries to hide them. She also added her brand's lip treatment, which didn't surprise anyone. But then she started mentioning products from outside brands as well. That's when people realized this wasn't just a marketing tactic. Among the things she listed were Neuron Body Butter, nipple cups for breastfeeding, Skims nursing bras and boy shorts, and Mom Cozy Pumps. By including items like nipple cups, something many celebrities wouldn't openly discuss, she touched on the less glamorous sides of motherhood that rarely get public attention. Item that stood out to fans was bio oil. Hailey said it helped her deal with scars, which made her seem even more genuine because body changes after pregnancy are something almost every mother experiences. The fact that she talked about scars instead of pretending they don't happen gave people the impression that she was being honest, rather than carefully scripted. Her survival kit wasn't just about skincare or beauty. It stretched into the daily realities of being a mom. She mentioned wipes, diapers, and cozy pajamas, things every parent can relate to. She also listed bumpsuit belly bands, compression socks, carriers, and drinks like coconut water and body armor to stay hydrated. On top of that, she included trace mineral drops, nipple butter, and even glass jars for storing breast. Every detail she shared painted the picture of someone who had gone through the long nights, the exhaustion, the aches, and the messy side of raising a newborn. It didn't sound like she was just following a trend. It sounded like she had lived through it. People online had very mixed reactions to all of this. A lot of her fans were thrilled. To them, this was the first time Hailey seemed truly relatable. For years, many felt like she only presented a version of herself that was too polished and too distant from normal life. By admitting she used things like compression socks, belly bands, and creams for stretch marks, she gave off an image of someone going through the same struggles as any other mom. For many, this was refreshing and real in a way she hadn't shown before. But not everyone was ready to believe her. A good number of critics questioned why she waited almost an entire year before opening up about these things. They argued that she could have offered comfort and support to other women during her pregnancy if she had spoken up at the time. Some feel the timing is calculated, pointing out that this kind of post might be a way to adjust how the public sees her. Others even suggested it could be clever marketing, mixing genuine experiences with product, mentions in a way that blurs the line between honesty and advertising. The timing does raise questions because Hailey kept her pregnancy unusually private compared to most celebrities. She didn't share the news until she was already 6 months along, and even after that announcement, she kept the details of her daily life quiet. Since she runs a beauty and wellness brand, people thought she would use her platform to discuss safe pregnancy products or share tips for new moms. Instead, she stayed mostly silent until now, which is why her sudden openness feels surprising to many. This has led to comparisons with other celebrities who have been praised for being upfront about motherhood. Stars like Chrissy Teigen, Amy Schumer, and Ashley Graham have spoken openly about everything from postpartum depression to breastfeeding struggles, showing unfiltered truths about pregnancy and recovery. Their willingness to share helped build a strong sense of trust with their fans. So when Hailey shifted from posting glamorous photos in expensive clothes to suddenly talking about nipple butter, compression socks, and scars, people started questioning her motives. Is this the real Hailey finally opening up, or is it just another carefully planned move to shape her image? What makes this moment stand out is how different it feels compared to the image Hailey has carefully built over the years. For so long, she has been known for showing off a lifestyle that appears effortless. Perfect makeup, chic outfits, and vacations in beautiful locations with Justin. Her online presence often gave the impression of a life far removed from everyday struggles. That's why seeing her suddenly talk about diaper wipes, breast pumps, And nipple butter feels like such a dramatic shift. Many online users believe that if she had chosen to share these realities while she was still going through them, she could have built a stronger bond with people. They argue that hearing her speak about swollen feet, sleepless nights, or the overwhelming emotions of preparing for her first baby while it was happening would have created a much more genuine connection. Sharing now, almost a year later, makes it harder for people to know whether her words are heartfelt or part of a carefully planned strategy. It's easy to imagine how things could have unfolded differently. If Hailey had opened up during her pregnancy, her audience might have seen a completely different side of her. Honest conversations about morning sickness, the nervousness leading up to childbirth, or the emotional highs and lows of becoming a mother for the first time could have reshaped how people see her. Fans often crave authenticity, and real-time vulnerability might have drawn her closer to an audience that has sometimes felt she keeps them at a distance. There's also the business angle to consider, and that's something people haven't ignored. A number of the products she highlighted are the same ones often seen in influencer deals and collaborations. This has led to questions about whether her survival kit was partly influenced by sponsorships. Including her own road products was no surprise, but the mention of Skims, Kim Kardashian's brand, sparked speculation. Some wondered if there was a quiet partnership behind the scenes, while others thought it might just be an honest recommendation from one mother to another. Even so, when you look closely at her list, most of the items are simple, practical things that many mothers would recommend themselves. Bio oil to help with scars, compression socks to reduce swelling, comfortable nursing bras, coconut water for hydration. None of these are luxury products made for social media. They're everyday tools, the kind you find on lists written by women sharing advice based on real experiences. That's one reason why some fans are leaning toward believing her post was genuine. One detail that especially caught attention was her mention of glass jars for storing breast milk. That's not the kind of thing someone includes just to make a list look polished. It's a small but telling sign of someone who has been in the middle of the exhausting routine of pumping and knows how important those tiny details can be. It might not be glamorous, but it speaks to lived experience, and that made her list feel more authentic. Reactions from mothers who have actually gone through pregnancy and recovery offered another perspective. While the general online response has been split, many women appreciated her honesty. They weren't as concerned about whether the post came at the perfect time or if brand deals were involved. What stood out to them was the fact that Hailey mentioned everyday essentials like nipple butter, compression socks, and storage jars, rather than focusing only on picture-perfect nurseries or designer strollers. To those women, it felt refreshing to see a celebrity step away from the polished image and talk about the less glamorous side of motherhood. Some people defended Hailey's choice to wait before opening up, saying the weeks after childbirth are exhausting and often not the right time to share personal struggles. From that view, speaking later wasn't about avoiding honesty, but about protecting her own well-being first. Her post also sparked a bigger question about what people expect from celebrities. Do fans want constant updates about their lives? Or should stars be able to keep things private until they're ready? There's no clear answer, and that's why reactions to her story were so divided. This moment also raised speculation about Hailey's future as a public figure. Some believe it signals a new phase where she becomes more relatable, while others think it's a one-time move to push back against criticism of being too perfect. If she continues sharing practical, down-to-earth experiences, it could strengthen her bond with women who never felt connected to her before. But if it ends here, it risks looking like a calculated reset. Her honesty could also impact Rhode. If people see it as genuine, her brand may attract more mothers. But if it feels like hidden advertising, it could weaken trust.